Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' with Web show. Thank you so much for logging on, tuning in. They click links, there's stuff. They got to do all this stuff just
That's intense.
It is. It's exhausting. I know you're going to want to take a break, have a beverage, stay a while, and hit subscribe so you can come back again and again and again, and it won't take you so much effort. So we are here at the Space Coast Book Lovers in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And we are hanging out right now. This is awesome because we're hanging out right now with the Hangin' with Web show's original author, not just a Hangin' with Web show alumnus, but the alumnus, because Carrie was our very first interview. We're hanging out with author Carrie Wells, whose next big project is fairygodmom.com.
It is.
That's cool, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So it's been 4 years.
It has.
It's been
a long
4 years. That first interview at Indie Book Fest,
yes,
2015.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, we were shouting across the room at a cell phone, trying to be heard, and it was both of our very first book conference.
And our first book.
Yes, and we were so proud of our badges, and we were like, look, we're official, we're part of the club, and now look, we're here. Amazing.
I got to tell you,
what a journey.
The first day when I walked into that book fest and you guys were there and you said, come here, come get interviewed. I thought it was just what everyone did. I didn't realize I was going to be the very first one. So look at us today.
Look at us today. 4 years. You've been writing and you're getting ready to kick off a brand new project.
Yes.
Fairygodmom.com. What is this?
It's a modern retelling of the traditional princess fairy tales. So think fairy tales from the 1600s moved into the 2000s. So
nice.
We have Cinderella.
Now, are we talking like, Grimmish? Or are we talking Disney-ish or somewhere in the middle?
Probably the middle. I'm I'm a little sarcastic, mostly sweet. Everybody has a happily ever after, right? I mean, you can't have a fairy tale without that. So definitely not grim.
We live in Central Florida, so if we don't Disney things up a little bit, there's something. It's like we're not here.
You're absolutely right.
Because this is. I know they technically call this a state in the U.S., but really, all hail the mouse. I mean, that's where we live. Okay.
That's true.
He puts our kids through college.
Yes, he does.
He's a good mouse. As far as you know, I'm telling the truth. It's the World Wide Web. Some guy in Japan just went, really? It's a nice mouse? There's a mouse king? There's a mouse king.
You ever meet a 6-foot-tall mouse named Michael? You let him know we said hi.
Amen. Right. So, okay, so what are you starting with? What's
Cinderella.
The first? Cinderella.
Cinderella is our first. It's called Catch a Fella. And think of Cinderella, who is now...
All of the people out there our age are like, hey, I remember that.
Exactly.
Because remember you used to do the jump rope.
That's exactly it. Now everybody who's 12 now wonders what a jump rope is, but that's okay.
That's true.
There's probably an Xbox game that does it. So you can do it on the Wii, right?
On the Wii, yeah. There's a Wii. It's the artificial rope, only we had real rope, which, although a little dangerous, is actually much more interesting.
We'll see if I can get that in the book.
And siblings benefit from the actual jump rope because you tie them up in the closet. Never mind. All those ideas just went out there on the internet. It's crazy.
That's a different series.
It's a whole different series. You got to go to Abigail Lee Justice's page for that one.
Absolutely.
Carrie and I had the benefit during the roundtables yesterday, the author roundtable, speed dating, of being Carrie, who does the very sweet romances.
Yes, fun and flirty.
Fun and flirty. We were at the table with Hangin' with Web show alumnus Abigail Lee Justice, who does the really spicy BDSM, LGBT romances. And so we were just all sitting there thinking, wow, this is like the first date. This is the
quite
first
the pairing,
date.
right?
Yeah. This is the first date. This is 4 or 5 shots in. It's
mild wings to turbo toxic.
Turbo
right?
toxic. That's right. Amazing stuff. So, what made you decide you wanted to tell like the fairy tale, update the fairy tales and bring them to a modern setting?
Well, honestly, the passion of readers for fairy tales. I mean, they've been around for centuries. There must be something to it, right? And I kind of wanted to take those princesses and give them a little bit of their own justice. They've all kind of been at the whim of a man. So these women have a little bit more control.
They have. We don't often think about the literary roles that we assign genders.
Absolutely.
Until those roles in society change.
Mm-hmm.
And as the roles of women in particularly Western society have changed over the years, our heroines, particularly the classic heroines, haven't.
Absolutely.
And so we have strong, powerful women in society today, authors and
Think of
and
our
successful,
amazing politicians that have taken
and then all of a
seat
sudden,
lately.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, you look back and you're like, okay, well, who, now that we have these amazing real life leaders, who do our daughters and our sisters emulate?
Absolutely.
And that you look at the fairy tales and you're going, really? She's waiting around for a guy?
Exactly.
First of all, I don't know a single woman who wouldn't just throw the extra shoe away and buy a new pair, because that's
Who would
what,
leave a shoe behind?
see what I'm saying? That's like, it's ridiculous. And you all out there know, and I know we're being a little bit gender specific, but if a woman loses a shoe, you're going to spend hours in the parking lot. She will find that shoe. You will lose your
True.
car before she will lose that shoe.
the question is, did she plant the shoe?
Ooh.
Maybe she's smarter than we
maybe
thought.
She's got it all worked out. What was the biggest challenge bringing some of these classic characters and princesses to the modern era?
Deciding how closely to stick to the initial stories, honestly, or which initial story to stick with, because some people don't realize the
source
originals
material's so
were
deep, yeah.
right. The originals go back for centuries.
And dark, by the way.
Yes, a number of them are very. Yeah, we didn't cut off any feet in this one.
I was going to say, I'm kind of curious because, from Bippity Boppity Boo backwards to Cinderella is a dark journey.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
keeping it in the middle.
It's going to be much lighter. We have Cinderella as, well, first of all, her name's not Cinderella, but Cece is a shoe heiress. She runs
a shoe heiress.
Yes, her family has a shoe company, and she is.
You have a good eye for irony.
She is fixing to take that over, but she's got to get it over from her her evil stepmother first.
Her evil stepmother.
So, of course, how do we do that? fairygodmom.com. You log on, you find your fairy godmother.
All right, now that, by the way, is just a cool idea.
I'll see if we can make it happen.
You're going to have wishes from all over the place.
Oh, that'd be great.
Floating in.
That'd
because
be great.
Fairygodmom.com. Are you kidding? It'd be like Dear Abby, only everybody's going to have like this wish list. I want this, and I want this, and I want this.
Well, if I could be a fairy godmom to one person, that'd be pretty great.
You know what?
I'd love it.
That is what an artist does. Though.
Yep.
That's what a writer does.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. You present somebody with a world and a set of characters and a set of aspirations that they can strive toward, and that's an amazing gift.
Thank you.
It truly is.
One we share, by the way.
We try. That's right. We do our very best. Her books are really good though, which is awesome. My books are there, and I'm a talk show host.
Hey,
so
any book that's written is good.
Amen. The only bad idea, by the one, was the one that you put under the bed.
That's true.
Pull that out, publish it, because then it's a good idea. What other characters, what other stories are you looking forward to telling?
We're going to follow up with Snow White and the book titled Fairest of Them All. She happens to be a detective. So we're playing on the idea of fair not being beautiful, but fair being just. And then we have Flotsam and Jetsam, which is the Little Mermaid. She is an antiquities dealer. And
there's so much. She's having so much fun with
this.
It's
great.
It's almost against the law. It's really.
No, it's too sweet to be against the law.
Oh, there you go. So, and then the Little Mermaid.
And then we've got
again another dark one though. The actual the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid is actually was if I'm not mistaken.
She turns into sea foam.
Yeah, because
no one wants
it was
that.
Actually Hans himself fell in love with a local ballerina, and he wrote The Little Mermaid almost as an homage, but when she rejected him, things got dark. And obviously you're not allowed to do dark things, so he just wrote dark things instead.
Absolutely.
And so Carrie loves mermaids. Yes,
you would never guess, right?
How did you know? We were over at the table, and as I described your table here at the book thing, it looked like a unicorn walked by and exploded.
Yes.
Not in a Legends of Tomorrow kind of way, but in like a
sparkly, glittery way,
kind of
right?
way. Yeah.
Sparkly, glittery
kind of way. Have you been doing a lot of signings and things?
I still have a day job, so my signings are mostly local, but I've been at Space Coast Book Lovers for the past 3 years, and then Indie Book Fest as well.
Awesome.
So I've done a few things, local things in St. Cloud and St. Augustine. So
how's the journey? I mean, we were there taking those first steps together.
I have to tell you, this community is the most supportive community. Sharing ideas, sharing just their personal gift. It's amazing to be surrounded by artists like that.
All the gifts are different.
Absolutely.
And it's so amazing. Like I said, we were sitting with Abigail, and we were sitting with
Julia Mills and Catherine Keene.
Catherine Keene. and seeing the diversity
Yes.
in the subject matter, as well as you had romance and you had fantasy and historical stuff, sweet things
Something
and
for
erotic
everyone,
things,
right?
and people and doesn't matter what you write, you're just so happy to help other writers.
Right.
To find their passion and find what they're doing. And readers. The readers yesterday were amazing.
Oh, they were.
To come up and we had several readers that came up and told some of our authors, hey, I've got all your books, or hey, I just saw your book.
Absolutely.
And everybody was so welcoming.
It's been an amazing conference.
This is
People were returning phones that were lost. That says it all.
Yeah. It does really, because let's face it, some of those phones are pricey these days. You know, most places you go, they're like they find a phone on the beach
Yep.
and they're like, well,
Find and run, exactly.
There's my next vacation.
It's a great group of people.
It is fantastic. Carrie, thanks for hanging out with us again
Thank you.
today.
I appreciate it.
We've been hanging out so long that she's going to flash that card and tell us we have to stop.
That's
Remember
okay.
when there were no cards and we could just
I
talk
remember
forever?
when there was no camera.
Valid. It's a true story. We're going to thank our partners and our friends, our great partners, Rick Shea and the team over at Famous Faces and Funnies, Jake Estrada at Space Coast Comics. We've got our great friends at Indie Originals Live, Chuck Fresh and Jake Estrada again. Josh Bauer at J Bauer Art, who typically adorns, all of his art adorns the set. But I'm kind of not very smart, so when I walked out of the house this morning, I didn't bring any art. But check out his links down below. Cogler Emporium for these great set pieces. We got these
those
at the
are
Ren
wonderful.
Fair. The Embellish Effects team over in Orlando, Florida. Foxwood Wine Company, because now we have comfy chairs. We can get off our feet at these
Thank
conferences.
you.
Yes, you rock. Our great friends at Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida, Bee and her whole crew over there. And of course, the great folks over at Krypton Radio. Thank you guys so much for sharing our videos and our creators all over the World Wide Web. We hope you will do the same thing. Subscribe right now. Go ahead. We'll wait. I can't wait that long. Come on. It's just a one button away. Now, come back over and over again. Log on, tune in, and see who we're hanging with next. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
That was great.